what would you even call people that are like, oh no, people shouldn't be dogs? What's their names?
Reasonable people.
Hello, boys and girls and everyone of every colour and every shape.
And every gender.
And every gender.
Or 100 of them.
And species, I guess.
Yeah.
Today we are reacting to Blair White, who's a trans person, if you don't know. Reaction to a trans dog or...
Trans dog. I think you just missed species.
I don't know. This is new to me. This sounds like it's the future. So we should all be very excited, actually.
Here's Tony.
So last night I was in bed with my fiance and we were both on our phones and he said, Blair, there's some trans stuff going viral and trending on the Snapchat front page. And I was like, at first skeptical, of course, because any trans stuff that Joey's watching is really not going to be something I would want to watch. That's really his private time. But anyways, I'm like, okay, I'll look. And I open my phone and the first thing I see is my partner identifies as a dog.
What would you do though if you're like, you're dating someone and then they're like, do you know what? I think I'm a dog.
Leave them.
Do you think it's like a fetish? Like maybe there's a sexual aspect to it?
Yeah, is it like this, the whole furries thing?
Like cute furry stuff? Or...
No, like furries, the people that like dress up as animals and shit.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Watch it. The only thing I know about this before watching it is that this is a trans man who is also a trans dog. If you think I'm saying this to make fun of this person, that is not the case. This is literally how this person describes themselves. A trans man who also identifies as a dog. 2020, what's good? Bella, look, it's your cousin.
Imagine if the easiest way to delight your wife is you just throw a ball across the room. Relationships wouldn't fail anymore if that's all you had to do.
Oh, hell no.
If China invade, we're fucked.
When China invades, not if, when they invade, yeah, we are very fucked. They're out there, got their old people doing all kinds of gymnastics and shit.
Yeah, Tai Chi,
yeah,
Kung Fu, all that.
And then we got the young people pretending to be
dogs.
Making
I think
them...
species is a social construct.
He barked. I don't even know what I'm getting myself into. Watch.
You know, she keeps misgendering him as well.
No, he's a trans man.
Oh, women that turn to man.
Female
I thought it was a man that turned to women turned to dog. Okay.
See my ribbons and they say, oh, you've won all these ribbons at dog shows, but they rarely ask if I'm the dog.
Yes, because that's a natural question. Someone would ask, are you the dog? Are you?
Oh, shit. I've won quite a few. This is the High Point Award for Puppy Palooza, and then these two are the best ones I have because these are my two best in shows. I got these at DomCon.
No, why'd they have to have actual dogs? It's okay that makes me feel uncomfortable, right? Like, you know what? Hello, PETA?
Pet play is any time that a person takes on the role of an animal and they emulate that animal, either through their behavior or their actions. Some people wear costumes out of that.
Yeah, kids. That's quite different. Like,
but now we should encourage the kids to be dogs. That's what we should do. If your kid's like, I want to be a cat, you'd be like, yeah, Bob, that's a very realistic goal in life.
yeah.
Tony, once we started dating, handler is a common role for human pups, and I was glad to do it.
They say when the student is ready, the master appears.
So this is a fetish, right? I feel like I'm always asking that on this channel. I feel like I'm always reacting to and watching like really, really out there shit.
But isn't it demeaning to kind of just generalize it as a fetish?
From the sounds of things, this
Oh yes, so it's a bit. Yeah, go on.
this person, man, trans man,
Yeah.
isn't actually saying they're a dog.
Okay. They just like
They-
playing as one.
They just like playing as one by the sounds of things.
Okay, so it's more of a play thing. They don't
I
actually
think there
believe
probably is
they're
a
dog.
sexual element to it. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably.
Out there shit. And my only reaction is this is a fetish. Am I wrong? So I'm not gonna lie. It has me really effed up that they keep talking about puppy play, pet play, and showing the dogs, like the actual dogs. Like maybe not even PETA. Maybe I should call the police. Wait, are they defunded?
The first time I met you, I kissed as a dog for Halloween.
Are you comfortable being fully out?
I don't care.
He was he's female at the time. I remember that he showed up with a little like dog nose painted on. Yeah, it didn't seem weird at the time.
I just happen to have all the gear.
Well, that's uncomfortable. Here's the thing. Fetishes are okay, right? Fetishes are clearly okay. Preferably in the privacy of your bedroom, not like all up on trending on Snapchat. Let's say that first. And it's only okay as long as those actual dogs are not involved. Okay? I'm not going to assume they are. I'm going to pray they aren't. But like the way this is all presented is the actual issue for me. The identify as a dog thing. I identify as a man and also as a dog thing. Like, it makes a mockery of actual trans people, and y'all don't need me to even tell you that. Like, y'all know. This perfectly feeds into...
Very
Can I
true.
elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's just very true. It's just further blowing the... For me, the whole transgender thing, like Blair White, if you watch her channel, which I like, she's quite vocal about, trans rights, and she fights for it, but she's also a freedom fighter like we are. We like free speech.
Yeah.
We think it shouldn't be impaired. So she'll believe that, people should be allowed to be trans and go through the surgery. But she also believes that, someone that's trans, there shouldn't be any law or anything forcing someone to call them a woman if they weren't born a woman, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she's quite nuanced in her argument, when a lot of the trans argument seems to be quite black and white and quite dictative, like this is how it should be, this, and no room for question.
Yeah.
But she kind of has a problem with the dilution of actual trans itself as well.
Yeah.
Because for her, being trans is kind of in the word, a transition, a man turn into a woman or woman turn into a man. But she doesn't like this whole thing of people who are like, well, I'm not a man or a woman.
Yeah, like the spectrum.
Yeah,
the
that man
non-binary,
or woman doesn't actually exist, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of then defeats, the years of surgery and, pain she's gone through to be a trans woman. And that's a quite, even the word trans, she's quite definitive on that, because she understands that she's not actually a woman.
Yeah.
She's a man who transitioned to a woman, so she accepts the trans. She knows she's a trans woman.
Yeah.
She's fine with she's happy when people call her woman, but she understands she's a trans woman, not actual woman, and she understands the problems that comes from saying trans woman or actual. So she's like, the reason I like her is because she's quite realistic. It's not just about her and how she feels, it's also the societal effects from diluting these things and not actually understanding it, and these quick black and white interpretations that are being pushed around. And she then says with this thing that it's also further blowing these lines, because now people associate being a trans person with also people who are dogs, who want to call themselves dogs.
Yeah.
The millions of people on social media just search up the terms I identify as. It's like a big joke. Like, it's a joke. Like, I identify as a helicopter, I identify as this phone, I identify as this hairbrush. And it adds such an extra layer that the person is actually, a trans man, supposedly. Like, why are you equating, like, why are you doing that? You're blurring lines that I would prefer not to be blurred. It's like identifying as another gender. It's like, okay, whether you like it, understand it or not, there is a scientific precedent for it. There is like...
Yeah, there's the actual science of gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
And, you know, there is science to back gender dysphoria and why people want to be trans. And, you know, that it you know, some people's cases, it does help them to transition.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to keep these things realistic, innit? But when we start going on to these more, for me, it's quite self-indulgent things that, like, definitely. I identify as a skyscraper or I identify...
I think a lot of that is trolling. But yeah. I think, I forgot what I was going to say earlier on. I think what I was going to say is a lot of these people that are trying to say that, you know, there's no difference between a biological woman and a trans woman and all this, quite often aren't trans themselves. And the actual trans people are a bit more reasonable. And then they've got a load of cis people
who just at the whim when they feel like it want to say they're two spirit penguins or whatever.
Or not even that like have this sort of paternalistic, like, oh, I'm going to stand up for you and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then maybe if you are, I'm sure loads of cis people are horrible about Blair White when she...
Yeah, they say horrible, straight white women and men that say horrible things about her. And these are the same people that will say...
that we're bigots because we don't think...
Yeah, we don't agree with them. So is this... It's cultish like thinking, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's this thing where this is what trans should mean, this is what it has to mean, when there's not real science supporting this spectrum of genders thing.
Yeah.
There's spectrums of masculinity and femininity. You know, you could be a woman that's very masculine, but doesn't make you a man. If you have gender dysphoria and you feel like you're a man, and then you choose to act for it, fine, then you're a trans man now, kind of thing. But there's a lot of these things that needs discussion because they do have other ramifications as well. But are shut down by these people who kind of see themselves as white knights and they're going to protect these groups and they're going to condemn anyone that doesn't see their view or speak or their view or opinion of thing, which is quite toxic to the actual
I think it's interesting people. Like when people, like, obviously J.K. Rowling is quite a big example, when people you know, speak out against some of the like trans agenda, they get silenced and they get all these sort of phrases that sound like a big deal but really mean nothing, like, oh, you're denying the existence or you're denying their lives or whatever. But like, surely by saying that there's literally no difference between a trans woman and a woman, that's denying the existence. You're denying the existence of what it actually means to be a woman in a way. And you're how do you word it? Like, You're denying their existence as a trans woman by just saying they're a woman. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. That kind of experience that it took to get to being a trans woman.
I imagine Blair White has some pride not just in being a woman, but in being a trans woman. And if you just say, oh, you're just a woman kind of thing. Yeah, you're taking that away.
Yeah, no, that's quite interesting viewpoint. Yeah, because I don't imagine having this gender dysphoria easy. I can't.
Oh no, it
must be very difficult to be a certain gender and then inside, you're a certain gender and inside you feel like you really should be another gender. Yeah, like that must be very difficult in every single day, every single waking moment. And I can understand the relief when you finally like physically match that. And I get the need that you want other people to further validate that. Yeah. But that's something you can't mandate because...
You can't know, yeah.
Because we live in reality kind of thing. And I get the need that you actually want to experience things that women experience, like having periods and giving birth. But that's not physically possible. No. So we could understand, we could have compassion, but we also have to remember... we live in reality. Yeah.
And there should just be some pride in being a trans woman. Yeah. Instead of trying to homogenize it and being, oh, there's no difference between a trans woman and a woman. Because there is.
My main thing is like, okay, I'm not a feminist, but in a way I'm a feminist.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
And like, I feel like there is that problem of trans rights, like the push towards just saying trans women or women negatively affecting women. Like you know, with sports, with change rooms and things like that. There is those, even young girls, you know, because let's say you're trans man that's now a woman kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does that mean you should get access to young girls' changing rooms as a teacher kind of thing? Do you get? That's a big question, because there is men out there, especially if we're saying for you to be a woman, you don't have to go through
you just
any
have
surgery.
To say.
You just have to say you're a woman. There is that risk of there's men that will take that, very sick men.
Like
I'm not saying trans people are sick, but I'm saying there's sick people who will take advantage of that.
If you're a male rapist and there's the option for you to just, if it's that easy, you can just say, "Oh, I'm a woman," and why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to be a minority, but
it's a problem that should be discussed.
I think, you know, I think there should be some separation from. I'm not saying trans women should just get chucked in a male prison.
Yeah.
But if you've got a penis, there should
really
be some.
Yeah. Blair White, I saw a video she said about how she believes how it should work is that if you've gone through a surgery, you no longer have a penis.
Yeah.
Then you should go to a women's prison.
Yeah, I think I agree.
And if you still have a penis, then as you
maybe
know,
it's just a
special
like
section of the
segregation,
prison.
like like
But this is like, it's such a nuanced discussion that people, as soon as the discussion starts, they get defensive, reactive. Yeah. Like each time I try and have this conversation in any shape or form, and I'm sure there's people watching this right now, and their first reaction isn't to actually listen and try and understand our point of view, but to get defensive and get reactive.
Yeah.
And for me, it's to the detriment of the trans people. It's to the detriment of the women and vulnerable groups. And to be honest, the white male patriarchs that everyone keeps hating on, they're the ones that win the most from not having this discussion. So it's very interesting to me. And I guess it's a discussion that our society is not ready. Yeah. And that's maybe because we do feel very guilty for how society has been treating gay people and trans people in the past.
Yeah.
So I understand that it's going to take us time to get there, but we need to have these discussions, and we need to, you know, this is a serious discussion because it has serious ramifications. So yeah, went on a bit of a tangent.
We observe this, you know, some people are naturally in the population going to struggle with issues of gender dysphoria. Identifying as a dog, though, I just like, to leap from that to also identify as a dog, the audacity, like it's really the audacity for me.
It involves gear that is restrictive or restraining. For example, leashes, harnesses, mitts on your hands.
So there's like a big, like, it is a fetish. That's like kinky, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't.
There's definitely like a sexual fetish element to it.
Yeah, but I don't think for her it's a sexual thing. That's the weird thing. Maybe for other people, I think for her, I don't think it's a sexual thing.
Maybe.
Harnesses, mitts on your hands. This is called a show tail. What I've done is I've put it through a dildo harness, and then I just wear the dildo harness backwards, and that gives the tail better balance. And as you can see, that's a rubber silicone tail, so it wags. And then the most important part of all of this gear is actually this guy with the ball. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, dogs love their toys. They have me making sense of it now. Help me.
That's it.
My responsibility is similar to the responsibility with a regular dog. The first
dog. I'm a regular dog. I'm
Hey! Nice to see you. Come on in.
Y'all hear him bark when the door opened, though?
Nice to see you. Come on in.
I need a cigarette, and I don't even smoke.
You're so cute. I know.
I don't know if I can continue. This was a bad idea.
I have a question.
Yes.
What sends you into puppy space? Like when you put on these two things or one thing?
For me, it's being on all fours. The gear is, I don't need the gear. The gear is for you to see me as a dog.
Okay. So
I don't need the gear.
Actually getting down on all fours, that's it, you're gone.
Yeah.
We don't make it sexual, but I have nothing against those who do.
That's great.
But more power to those who do.
I thought it was a fetish. Now I don't even know. Look at her. I cannot even look at her. Bella, go away. Go away. I can't. Ugh. Bio dogs, am I right?
My family, for example, I think they have a general idea that I'm into some kinky stuff, but we don't talk about it.
Didn't y'all just say it wasn't sexual? And now it's kinky? Now you're calling it a kink? At this point, just own it, okay? You're getting your rocks off. It is what it is. You're already up on TV barking and shit. Like, just own it at this point. Please.
I think everyone should try it once, and if they like it, they should try it a second time.
Okay, Van, let's do this.
Interesting.
Definitely very interesting, and it does bring up a very interesting / important conversation, let's say, of what does this shit mean, and should we embrace this as a society? Should we say it's acceptable? Like, obviously we shouldn't tell her what she should do with her life, kind of thing.
No.
But
well, we shouldn't force her, but we should trans man.
Yeah.
We shouldn't force him, but at the same time, we don't have to all play along.
Yeah.
Like,
do we have to, when we see him, say, "Oh, that's a cute dog," kind of thing? Do we have to greet them as a dog, or should people be able to say, "Why is that person a dog?" kind of thing, acting like a dog? So, interesting discussion. I hope we didn't offend anyone, and if we did, I think you need to check the definition of tolerance, and
good point.
Make sure you fit that category before you start preaching about how we're intolerant. Yeah, our aim isn't to offend anyone. Our aim is to practice our free speech and to spur discussion. But like, comment, subscribe. We'd like to hear what you think, and if you don't like it, dislike, but tell us why you disliked it, and don't just use catch-all phrases like, I don't know, white supremacist and trans species phobic or whatever. What would you even call people that are like, "Oh no, people shouldn't be dogs"? What's their names?
Reasonable people.
We'll see you on the next episode of
Let's Talk About It.
Hey.
You're so cute. I know.